Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first double-digit episode. We're talking episode 10 of the Killer Kaiju podcast. As always, it is I, Lucas.
Hi, it's Josh. Hi, hello.
Hello, hello. And today we are
Hello.
tackling a very divisive film in the Godzilla series. Today we
Some
are
shit.
tackling Son of Godzilla.
On Mother's Day, which
On
is kind of
Mother's Day.
ironic.
Because technically Godzilla isn't gender. He doesn't have a gender, so it
He's
can
a
be
mama
Mother's Day.
too.
Yeah, he's the mama. Let's be real here. Even
Mama
though in this
Godzilla.
movie, he definitely has a lot of attributes of a father, which we'll get into. So as always, folks, commentary / podcast. I'm sure you guys know the drill, but if it's your first time, you can watch along with us on if you have a copy of the film. We'll be watching the original Japanese cut of the film. Both versions are about the same, whether you're watching American or the original. They're pretty much the same time-wise. A lot of people get this confused with Godzilla's Revenge or All Monsters Attack because they use a lot of stock footage from this movie and that movie. However, that is not the film we were watching. We are watching 1967, The Son of Godzilla. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, good dinner. So without any further ado, folks, we will count down and dive right into this semi-decent film, depending on where you sit. And we'll try not to tear it apart for those who love it. Alrighty, folks. So as always, we're hovering just at the beginning, so you can watch along with us or listen to it alone as a podcast, depending if you're on your way to work or just chilling. So on the count of 3, we'll count right down and begin. 3, 2, 1, and let's dive in.
Now, Lucas, did you remember to put the timer?
I just clicked it.
There you go.
You just got to keep reminding until it's just auto.
It'll click in.
Yeah, exactly.
Another Anus Films in Toho.
Yes, always. Anus Films doing all the releasing and Toho doing all the production. So this film, honestly, the last movie we watched was Ebro Horror of the Deep. This one doesn't stray too far away from the kind of feeling that one had. It's just like the last movie. We're going to be on an island, not really city based, and we're going to see a lot of like nature and like native people from like Infant Island and stuff like that. So we're still kind of going with that kind of same feel, and Godzilla being more of like a lovey-dovey kind of character instead of a force of nature. And obviously the worst thing of all in this movie is the Godzilla suit. This is probably my least favorite Godzilla suit. And that's saying a lot because that includes like Zilla from 98 even. I really dislike this suit. These shots here are fine because so it opens up and they're in the yeah, you can see how derpy he looks.
Yeah, not off to a good start, my friend.
No, this Godzilla suit, I don't know what they were thinking. They wanted to make him more expressive so they could show more, I guess, expression. So they raised his brow so it's very high and his eyes kind of face frontwards. Like they're very big. So you can see his eyes and his emotion on his face. And it just looks weird. It's hard to say. It looks like he's a vegetable. Like I don't understand what they were thinking.
I don't know, man. Not a fan. Not a fan.
No, like this, and thank God this is the only movie where this suit is used as the main suit.
The eyes look so derpy.
Yeah, very silly. He's
Son
used
of
in
Godzilla.
Some of the shots in the water shots in this one are a different suit, I believe. But you know what's the dramatic change from the other ones is this person in the Godzilla costume is not Nakajima. This is not the usual Godzilla guy. It's someone new. Yeah. So it's already off to a bad start. Like I said, this movie has its charm and its quirkiness. It's kind of more of a silly, fun, laugh your way through it kind of movie. But so usually Haruo Nakajima is our Godzilla. He has been for pretty much the entire show series. In this one, he only plays Godzilla in the water scenes. And the reason for that is obviously Son of Godzilla. Legend. We're going to get Godzilla's son in this movie. And he's also an actor in a suit. Now, it's actually an actor. He's a wrestler. His name is Maso Fukuzawa. Sorry if I mispronounced the first half. It translates. His name is Little Man Machan, and he's a wrestler. He was a midget wrestler. And he is actually in Manila, which is Godzilla's son. He's actually in the suit playing Manila in this one. So they needed someone taller because Nakajima was just average height. And they wanted someone taller so it would make Manila look shorter in the Godzilla suit. So they obviously made this Godzilla suit bigger than the other ones, and they hired a different actor because he was taller. So that way Manila would look smaller in comparison to Godzilla.
We better get a power bomb out of the son of Godzilla, or I'm gonna be angered. Also, is Eye Patch Man in this movie?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Damn right.
We have
Damn right. Finally,
our
one up.
Shirazawa coming back in here. But his actual name is Akiko Harada.
Mamazilla.
But I will say one thing, the story in this one is actually really good. This is the first time, like, this is a fresh story where it's like, it's not just some stupid bad guy thing or alien thing or anything like that. It's got a very good basis for a story.
Wait. So how the fuck does Godzilla have a kid? Do they bang? Wait, what does he bang?
So
is there another Godzilla?
You'll
Is he
see.
banging Mothra?
Yeah,
Mothra,
yes.
that side
King and the
piece,
queen of the monsters. So Godzilla, for those who don't know, usually in continuity, like a lot of the films, Godzilla is known to reproduce asexually. So he kind of, he develops his eggs in his embryo and he lays eggs, and that's kind of how it happens. He doesn't need a partner to reproduce. Kind of like some sea creatures do it. Let me just think. Let's look up that, shall we? What do you think of these outfits in the island so far, though? I think it's a little bit better than the last film, but I feel like it's more quirky and silly.
It's kind of like half Indiana Jones and the Mummy so far.
Yeah. I do like, but so there's a sign. They're obviously on this island doing research. These aren't like a terrorist group.
Paleontologist or some crap.
So it's really cool. They'll get into it a little more, but they're actually conducting weather experiments on the island. So they're trying to figure out how to change weather climate, like the heart machine, essentially. So that way, like in places where they can't grow certain foods, they'll be able to grow, because as the population grows, they're going to need more food, right? And they need more land. So they're figuring out ways they can change the weather in certain countries and areas, so that way they can have more land to grow more food and crops. So that's what they're kind of being tasked with doing, which is a really cool turn, especially coming from 67. This idea in 1967, that's a really cool idea, because that's kind of like what we're doing today.
Man,
and we've already
can you
figured out how to do this
imagine
stuff.
if we could reproduce asexually and just have babies like that and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna be a dad tomorrow? Boom. That'd be fucking nuts.
So most animals that procreate through they're like mostly invertebrates, like bees, wasps, they all reproduce asexually. And about half of which are fish or lizards. Okay. So yeah, vertebrate species is a lot of them that reproduce asexually, and I wonder if that's because they have like different strands of DNA, like they're able to kind of reproduce that way. I'm not too sure what the science is behind it. Got to get a scientist on the show to tell us all about it.
It's probably because they're assholes and
Starfish and stuff like that, like those type of things, they reproduce asexually, I guess, like crustaceans.
So that means Patrick could have a baby.
Yes. That means Patrick's parents and SpongeBob, they just fucking they weren't necessarily have to be together to have Patrick. They just having a good time. I also like to Harada here. This is his first time back playing a main role. Like you noticed in all the other ones, he's always playing like the villain or the side role or like the side character. He's actually back playing a main character in this one and a good guy. So I like that they brought him back to do that. So we were talking to the director of this one.
Where are we talking to him?
Yeah, I wish I was talking to him. He did the last film. We were talking about him. Sorry. In the last film, that was his first Godzilla movie he did, Jun Fukuda. And I was saying I'd be really disappointed, though, if this was the first movie he did, because Ever Horror of the Deep was all right. But this,
I got to point out how much I hate the sets in this one. It literally looks like a part of like Disneyland.
Like the defunct
like when they zoned out, it's they got the yellow building. Like these all look cheesy. They look like fake buildings that like were made that you would hide a ride behind it or some crap.
Yeah, exactly. So far we've just had the scientists on this island, and they're running out to water because someone's parachuting down, and this is where we're introduced to our main character here. This is Sir Goro, and I actually love the personality he's got. He actually has a lot of charm to this movie. He's kind of like the hot-headed reporter who's trying to, be the best he can be, but he also goofs up and messes up a lot. He's kind of a lovable character. I didn't like him at first, but like I grew to like his character a lot in this film. We'll see him act in a few more Godzilla movies coming forward as well. He kind of starts a Harada type thing where he likes to play out in a lot of films coming forward. Yeah. He's like, I'm here for a story. And then the main general there, the head of the scientific department. He's like, "You're not gonna find one here." He's like, "Well, I'm not leaving until I do." It's like, okay, bud, you just parachuted down and trespassing on their property, but you can just have a hissy fit all you want.
What is he, like 40 years old, 30 years old?
I'd say he's younger than that. He's young and ambitious. He's a reporter.
Young
He's
and
probably
ambitious.
probably in his 20s.
I don't know, man.
It's hard to tell, man. Like, look at Harada. He doesn't look like he's aged at all. Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
a
I
lie.
feel like this man is 30 or so.
If you look at Harada in all of his films, he never looks like he ages except for the very first Godzilla. And I think that just has something to do with it being black and white. And not being able to see the definite facial features properly in his face. But he definitely looks a lot older in these ones because he was really young when he did Godzilla, or Gojira, I should say. And obviously without the eye patch, it covers up less of his face too. So it makes you see more of his face. So it looks a little older, but he's the smart man here. He's like, yeah, this reporter, instead of just sitting here and letting him sulk, we can put him to work, make him cook food for us, gather shit. He's the smart one. He's still wearing the life jacket from when he arrived too. He's like, you gonna take that off soon, bud?
Nah, it's comfy. Keeps you warm, nice and toasty.
Exactly. Yeah. Then you know what? This film gets a lot of hate, and I feel like it's for two reasons. One, this is the definitive movie where it really made Godzilla more silly and kid friendly, really even farther than the last ones did. And I think the other reason it's really hated, besides the suit design, is the fact that this movie, a lot of the footage from this movie is reused in All Monsters Attack, which is the worst Godzilla film of all time. I can solemnly say that. I believe that 100%. And a lot of people get the two confused because they just see, Godzilla's son in the same fights and they think, oh, it's that awful movie. So I feel like it's a lack of confusion that way too. But it's funny that this film was before that one and this one's still better. So here we get the first glimpse of one of our kaiju here. These are the Kamacuras. They're like giant praying mantis. I actually like this shot a lot. They hear it in the trees, and as they walk over, you just see the big yellow orange glowing eyes moving through the trees.
It's a Pokemon, and now he's playing Pokemon Snap.
He's This movie is Pokemon Snap. There you go. That's literally
I
what this movie
totally
is.
bought that game.
Oh, how is it?
Well, my girlfriend bought me it, but either way, it's great. 10 out of 10.
Right.
Recommend.
I really want it because it was relaxing, but budgetary reasons, it was either I buy Pokemon Snap or I buy Resident Evil Village, and that was definitely the game for me anyway. So I bet I would have had more time. Like I would have gotten more gameplay out of Pokemon Snap, but Village was like the game I wanted to play before it got spoiled for me. So
I totally recommend it, dude.
I'll
totally
get it eventually.
So good.
And I'll get it when it goes on sale, which is never, because it's a Pokemon.
I was just about to say, I'm like, it's never going to, my dude.
I'll probably get it eventually.
Sword and Shield's been out for what, like 2 years, and it's still like $80.
Yeah. Look at this guy's dapper shirt way here. He has a red Hawaiian shirt. He looks like the Quagmire shirt.
I noticed that they always got to give like the main character, or at least one of them, a nice Hawaiian shirt, so they're the brightest shirt, they're the brightest character.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny too.
He's focus on them.
He's washing the lettuce for them, obviously, right? And he's like, "Yeah, I just used this basket." And he's like, "No one's used this water yet today." And then the guy's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Mario washed his boxers in that this morning." And he just picks up the lettuce and goes, "Ugh." And then it's like he's just giving it to everybody, like, "Yeah, it's fresh veggies." Tastes just like crotch.
Not so fresh.
Nope. Depending on the last time he showered, it might be fresh, but
it's a little salty.
So like, see, this movie's got the charm to it. Like I do like the soundtrack too. Kind of happy, quirky, silly.
For some weird reason, I just want to watch Sandlot.
Yeah. I mean, watching this movie, there's a million other movies I think I'd rather be watching.
Yo, the Sandlot is dope. Don't even hate.
No, exactly. But I'd rather watch that than this. Like this.
I think it's the dorky hat. That's what it was that got me. I was like, I don't know, man.
Oh, here we go. And the creepy. So he sees the one girl swimming in the water, and now he's gonna get all creepy and crouch down and just observe her from afar, like a creep. I think at first though he thinks he
fell.
I think he's imagining it at first. He thinks he's not seeing, like he's seeing things like a mirage. That's why he's like, wait, am I actually seeing this? And then he does the creepy thing. He gets out his camera. Like, come on, dude. And then obviously this guy, so Goro has our main character here. He has a habit of tripping on rocks and startling and giving away the position of everyone around him. And that was the first kind of shot we see of him doing that. He hits the rock and the girl sees him and swims away.
Maybe that's why they sent him away. They were like, get out of New York or Japan, like fuck off.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, go get just. They're like, yeah, he's a reporter. He's so ambitious, but he's annoying and he screws everything up. I don't know. Just tell him there's some story on some island and just drop him somewhere and hope he doesn't come back. And then they just happen to drop him on an island where there's actual people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you actually found people. Okay, cool. Go report something.
I guess you're not totally useless. Every time I see like a bunch of people around like a dinner table eating together and they're all scientists, all my mind goes to is Alien, the first Alien film. Every time when they're all sitting around the table with the chest burster scene. That would make this movie better right now if the main guy just like flipped over on the table and then like something burst out of his chest. There you go. That's how you get this movie going. Really cool about that movie too, not to get too off topic of the Godzilla, but in Alien, when the chest burster comes out of the chest, only two of them, the person obviously whose head was under the table, who the actor who's playing the guy that had the chest burster come out of him, and the person holding him had any idea what was going to happen. They wanted to keep it a complete secret from everybody else, so that way they got their authentic reaction. So when that thing burst out of his chest and the blood went everywhere and sprayed up at their faces, that is the actual reaction of like they did not know what was going to happen.
I like that.
I love watching the one girl, you know, the girl who's like always crying. Is like, we gotta get out of here. The baby one, essentially.
Yep.
She gets sprayed in the face, and her face is so funny because at first she gets hit and she's like, oh, gross, because she knows it's just like gross shit on her face. But then she's like, oh, I'm acting, and then she screams. So it's like her authentic face is just like, what the fuck is this?
If we're going off topic, I'm totally saying mine then. Do you know Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan?
Yes.
Fucking filmed in Vancouver.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, it's not filmed in Manhattan.
It's too expensive.
Vancouver.
The only shots that were shot in Manhattan were the Times Square scene.
Yeah. I didn't know any of that. And I was like, wow.
Like the rooftop boxing scene, all of that, it was all done in Vancouver, and then they just put the backdrop of Manhattan behind it, like it was a set.
Yeah, like all the dock part and everything like that.
That was all Vancouver. All the buildings, the alleyway scenes, it was all Vancouver, except for the only shot they ever did was the scene when he walks by those punks and he kicks their stereo over and then looks around at Times Square. That's the only scene that's actually in Manhattan on set.
Had a full mind blown moment. See, like this set looks too cheesy to me.
Yeah, I mean, it
looks too cartoony.
Absolutely. And you'd think that like if it was like a scientific like research center, it wouldn't be so bright and colorful.
But like it's so bright and colorful, slightly oversized. Like, I don't know. It just looks too cartoony and dorky to me.
Yeah.
Looks like a science center.
It's almost like they took the charm they had going with the Ebra with all the color and the evil bases and stuff, and they took that and they just blew it out of the water, because it was nice in that movie because all the buildings and the stuff was all like matte finish, but then when you went inside it was colorful, so it worked. It had a kind of a quirky charm to it. But in this one, the buildings in general and everything about it is just very vibrant, and I think they took what people liked it with the last one and just turned it to 11, and broke the fucking knob, and then everyone's like, I don't know how I feel about this now.
Yeah,
they give us too much of a good thing, it becomes bad.
It literally looks like something I would take my kid to, and they would like have fun for like 6 hours trying to like experiment and see what all these pulleys and
well, honestly, I would love to be on set of one of these places. Like, I mean, my hunt, like my number one set I really want to be on was in Gojira, Dr. Serizawa's laboratory. I think it would be very cool to go there. And that building, actually, surprise, surprise for all you Godzilla fans, the original laboratory is actually still in Japan. And you can go and visit it, and it's kind of like a museum, and they do like, it's kind of like a gift shop thing where you can like buy pieces from like models, sets and stuff like that too as well. It's a really cool experience, and I definitely would totally do that. Yeah.
If I got to choose one, I would totally choose the set for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Like when they actually go to the Sawyer's house and it's like the mom in the desert kind of thing. Yeah, like I would want to see that set.
Oh, there's like some sets that just stand out so much. I'm like, oh fuck yeah. Like the original Frankenstein set, like the table and everything, like
That would be super
Rocky
cool.
Horror Picture Show. There's so many sets I would really love to be on, or at least like see in person. It would be unbelievable. Oh, so here they launched their first cryo probe. So the idea of this is like their balloon they send up into the air to change, and it releases, I guess, pheromones and stuff into the sky, and it changes the makeup, and it will cause like to rain or to be colder or to snow. And that's kind of what they're testing on this island, which is why they have to be so off of mainland in case they screw something up, and cause like a massive ice storm, so they don't destroy
400.
all their vegetation.
It's over 9,000.
It's going up, up, and away, Webb. I'm used to seeing balloons carrying giant monkeys in this movie, not little boxes. And it kind of looks like an egg, the balloon. So there's our egg reference. Though there's another egg reference. The beautiful Godzilla egg reference, as always. And
Mamazilla.
boom! So they go up, they blow it up, and then it releases it into the air, and that's what's going to cause it. It's drawing warm air upwards, see? So they're trying to cool the temperature on mainland. I mean, it's really cool. Like, I love the science behind it. Like, it is really interesting. And there's a definitive point in this movie where it becomes something else. And that liquid looks a lot like the yellow, smoky liquid that they were using to ward off Ebra.
It's pee.
It's just urine. Yeah.
That's their daily collection of piss that they're spraying.
Peeing in water. Now they're peeing in the sky.
Dude, could you imagine the smell of that island?
Just like when you pee on a campfire to put the fire. For those who have not done that, do not do that. Do not pee on a campfire. Bad. It seems like a good idea at first. You're like, hey, I gotta pee. I gotta put this fire out. It should be a no-brainer. No, don't do that. Bad things happen to dumb people, and that's a dumb decision. Do not do that. I've done it. Trust me, do not do it. 1, it smells awful. 2, it causes a tremendous amount of smoke to come up in your face while you're standing right there peeing in the fire. And that smell will stay on you for weeks. You'll just smell like stale campfire urine. Do not do it. As fun as it sounds, just don't. That is your fun fact for today, and it's also a lifesaver. Do not do
this
that.
One time I went camping with Herbert and Paige, and it was like 5 a.m, and I woke up and I was like, I gotta pee, and I didn't know where like the outhouse thing was at the campsite. So I basically like opened the tent and basically walked 2 feet forward and just started peeing because I was like, all right, that's far enough. Like, this will be good enough. Turns out I peed on his backpack. Yeah, he like picked it up in the morning and it was like drenched in piss, and I felt so bad about it, but I'm like, I thought I went far away. Like, like that was good enough. Apparently not.
It's his own fault for leaving his backpack out there. Was he trying to attract bears?
I don't know, man.
Ooh, I like the weather shots though. I feel like the reason they when they made the plot for this movie, they're like, yeah, let's make an island where we can dramatically change the weather effects and stuff, because that way they could do all these really cool special effects where there's flooding and raining and snowing and cold and hot, and that way they could show off all their cool set and their all cool ideas and way of making things work. But even look at the towers. See how they look dirtier and like rusted? Like,
yeah,
that beautiful place now became that
4 days later.
Yeah, it looks better now than it did before. All the color gone off the buildings because all the gross urine stained it all. There we go. So it's finally cooled down enough because it got super hot. Yeah, if not for the AC, you would have baked alive. Would have been baked like Evero was in the last film when he got vaporized by atomic breath. Yeah, I would say that's a setback. You guys tried to do something and literally destroyed your whole campsite. So I don't doubt it there anyway. Oh, here we go. our main man, eye patch man here, Sirzawa.
Everything is fucked up. That's the report.
Everything's yeah. We have a report in from the boss. Everything's fucked. Just give up. But Goro, Goro's still peppy as ever. Look at him go. Taking pictures of people walking. I'm surprised he hasn't been punched yet. I see there's some good comedic elements
of him.
He's taking pictures of him. He just stops, looks at him like, can you stop? Takes another picture, keeps following him.
Just a nuisance.
Literally a nuisance. And it's funny because he plays such a nuisance airhead loser in this movie. And then in our next incredible best of the show of film movie, Destroy All Monsters, he plays a mainline, like, kind of hero, like, brave guy. It's so funny. It just shows he's a good actor, though. I do like the Kamacuras, though, the giant praying mantis in this movie. I love the creature design. That's where this movie, like, is really good. I think the kaiju design and the villains in this are really good. And I think it has to play into something that they're not really like villains, you know what I mean? They're just creatures living on the island almost. But obviously they're the ones that are the most effective. And I think it's a good balance because they're not super big like Godzilla, but they're just big enough to be bigger than the humans to, like, really have good imposing shots, like right here where they go into the woods and you just see him crawling over the trees because he's just a bit higher than the tree. I think it makes for two things. One, it makes for good angles and good shots, and it adds a realism element to believe that, yeah, well, they couldn't have lived on this island with creatures that were bigger than that because they would have been killed. So the fact that they're kind of the size they are makes it more believable that they were able to live and stay hidden from these creatures while on the island.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If I saw that thing, I'd probably shit my pants.
Oh yeah,
I don't like bugs as is. So if I saw a giant praying mantis like coming at me, I'd be like, hell nah.
Yeah, this one, the reason I didn't like this film as a kid is because I am arachnophobic. Especially when I was younger. I'm a little over it now, but I used to be really scared of spiders when I was a kid. So, like, any bugs, like praying mantises, and there's don't want to spoil too much, but there's another creature at the end that really grossed me out because of my arachnophobia. And I feel like that's like the main scariness of this film is people who don't like bugs are definitely not going to like this movie.
There's this movie I watched when I was a kid, and it's fully just about like tarantulas and shit. I think it's called Arachnophobia.
Oh, it's Eight-Legged Freaks?
No, Eight-Legged Freaks was dope too. It's not
That's
that
a great
one.
Film. We should watch that movie.
Yeah, but if we go back and watch it, basically the graphics look like this now.
Yeah,
because I watched it. I watched it a few years ago, man, and it does not hold up.
It's all CGI though. That's the issue with that movie.
Exactly. So it doesn't hold up. So
there's a few practical spiders, like the big spider. I know there's a few puppet shots, but most of it was CGI. Oh, so here we go. The Kamacuras are like all huddling around this island, digging up this egg. And it rolls down. And here we're introduced to, can anyone guess it? What do you think it is? What do you think's in that egg?
Godzilla baby.
I'm thinking it might be a Godzilla baby too. Because there's no way the Kamacuras would be after their own egg. So
he pooped up a giant egg.
And for better or for worse, folks, I just have to put it out there. Manila is probably one of the ugliest children I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't care what you say. I don't even think regular babies are that cute. There's some that are, but most of them aren't. And look at Godzilla. Do you really think Godzilla's baby would be all that cute? No. The only time Godzilla's baby is ever cute is in the Heisei series when they try and pull this shit again later and think it'll still work. But they actually kind of pull it off. This one falls flat on his face. Like, after making this movie, I feel like even Toho knew that Manila was a complete, utter joke. He's used like 3 or 4 other times in the show of film, and they're all pure jokes because he makes an appearance in this movie. He's in Destroy All Monsters in the next film. And then he's obviously he's the main monster in Godzilla's Revenge, the worst movie of all time. He's the main character in that one, and he talks. So it makes it even worse because now you got to look at his ugly mug and you got to listen to him talk. I'd rather listen to the stupid, annoying noises he makes in this movie.
I don't understand how this set is supposed to, they expected me to believe that in 4 days, this set got that rusty. Nah.
Well, from the weather change, right? With it went extreme heat, it like peeled all the paint off and like And then
I
it
don't know,
flooded on
man.
top of that and all the water and stuff, right? Because it was flooding. That was their site.
There's
That's a
causing
cool
ruckus, and
shot.
there's a girl in a tree.
Girl in the tree, and he's stealing Goro's shirt. He's like, that's the girl I saw.
You notice that we're wearing like basically matching shirts, but she's wearing ketchup and I'm wearing mustard.
Yeah. I wonder if that's signifying anything.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I'm more of just a mustard guy, so I'd be riding solo if I was him. Not about that ketchup. I mean, ketchup and mustard on a burger, yeah, but like on a hot dog, just give me that mustard. You know what I'm saying? Team mustard all the way. Well, here we go. So they're still trying to crack open that egg. They hungry. They're like, we want an omelet. I tried attacking those other guys to get food and they shot at me. So like, let's just go eat this giant egg instead.
Just saying, if they cooked those eggs, they would be a food for like an entire nation for a year.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, the egg's hatching. Oh, they're more like ripping it apart.
I was just gonna say that. I'm like,
Oh
is it?
God, here we go. Are you ready for the most ugly, hideous shot of Manila you'll ever see? The first shot is actually the worst because he's covered in this gross, gooey shit from the egg. Look at this thing's face. Are
Have
you
you ever
ready?
seen the show Dinosaur? I think it's Dinosaurs.
Yep, that's a great show. This
This is
looks
what it
worse
makes
than
me
all of
think
them.
of.
Wait,
Yeah, I
it's
was like, but
worse.
like this is what it makes me think of.
Ready to see this face? Remember, this is only a face a mother could love. This is one no mother could love. Here we go.
It's squishy.
Ready? There it is.
Wow.
It almost looks like if the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had a baby and then they stuck it in a microwave.
It's like a weird Ninja Turtles frog baby.
Like, and at this point, they were really trying to appeal to kids because at this point, Gamera was doing really well for sales because obviously not a lot of adults went to movie theaters, right? So if a parent is like, kid wants to go see a movie, are they going to go see, a Godzilla film with all these adults and all these complicated storylines they don't understand? Or are they going to go see Gamera where the kids are the main story and they can relate with them and like have a monster to look up to? They're going to go see Gamera films. So, and kids were the majority of the moviegoers at this time. So they really wanted to push towards Gamera's audience by making a son of Godzilla and having Godzilla and his son be part of it. And I feel like that was their plan and it didn't do well still. So then with Godzilla's Revenge, they tried making a kid be the main protagonist with Manila. And that's when it all went downhill.
I can get over like the small Godzilla thing. The one thing that was bothering me is that every time they poked him, he was squishy.
Yeah.
Like he looks like a
he hasn't
stress
developed
ball.
yet.
He's just super weird looking.
Well, it's like a baby, right? Like a baby's head doesn't actually start off round. It's like a cone shape, and then the head slopes down into a head shape. Because our heads aren't actually like that. They're just their heads haven't developed, right?
Yo, when my niece was like born, she had the biggest cone head. Literally the movie Coneheads. It was great. I love that movie. Even though it's shit, but I still love it.
Like I've got like a little too much information. My when I was born, obviously I had issues with my lungs and shit, so I wasn't allowed to be held. I had to be in an incubator for the first like week of my life, and because of that, I was laying down a lot in my head, so my head never really flattened right. So my head is a little taller in the back at the top because I wasn't sitting upright. So for the first little bit of my life, so my head never really laid right. So I kind of got a bigger back end of my head.
Well, you do have a big head as is.
Yeah, so that's why I grow my
noggin.
hair out differently than most people, and I style it to make my head not look like a fucking xenomorph alien.
You should just get a mullet.
No.
Mullets for everyone.
Oh,
Let's make
so
a movement.
Godzilla's coming to save his baby now. He's like, I wanted nothing to do with it, but now that it's born, no, I'm here, so I might as well help. And he's just coming in. He's gonna wreck house.
He's ready to pay that child support.
Yeah, he's like, I'm stepping up and I'm being the dad that no one else will be. He's already messing up Kamacuris here. I do like how hands-on he is with the Kamacuris because obviously they're puppets, right? They're not suits. So he can be really rough with them. He can just pick them up and beat the shit out of them. But so far, Manila's useless. At this point, I don't think he's in the suit. I think it's a puppet. I know a lot of the scenes are him in a puppet. But then the ones where he's walking, that's when it's the wrestler in the suit.
I love that he's
Little
like,
man
we're not
Machan.
watching wrestling. We were totally watching wrestling.
Yeah, that's a wrestler in there. Little man Machan. Just dips. I wonder how would that, because I know the budget, I don't have the budget for this film.
Not
However,
a lot.
yeah, I don't think it was a lot. However, it did do 260 million yen at the box office. So that's not bad. It could be worse. So it was number 1 at the box office when it came out. So that's something. At least they got something back from it. Yeah, so that means it made $2,904,000 at the box office. So it came close to 3 million. That's how much it took in. It's not
Man,
bad.
we should make a Godzilla movie.
Don't, dude. Can't say that shit to me.
Let's make
That'd be
one.
my dream.
I'll be down for the 3 mil. I'll spray paint some clouds on some bed sheets. We'll
You
hang
ready
them
to
up in
suck
your
30 dicks
backyard.
at Toho? Because that's what you're gonna have to do in order to get the rights to make a Godzilla film.
We'll call it Giant Flaming Breathing Lizard Man
We'll
versus
call it
something else.
kind of like what they did with the second Godzilla movie when they wanted to release it.
Exactly.
They called it
Bootlegs.
Gigantus the Fire Monster, and he was called
Exactly.
Gigantus.
We'll call it Mamazilla.
You see that one? Godzilla's a tough parent, okay? He don't put up with shit. You being stupid, he's gonna smack you.
Dude, this thing looks like a boglin. Like, if anyone knows what boglins are, that's what this the son of fucking Godzilla looks like.
That's so. What's the boglin?
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's off the top of my head. I might
Google
know
it. Google it. No, just
Oh.
Google it.
And then
Google a boglin.
Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, the puppets. Yeah, the toy series. Okay.
The little hand puppets, you know,
Yeah.
like boglins, and they're like demon goblin things.
That's funny. And they come in the little
Look at his
box with the
face.
cage.
Yeah, look at his face. Like,
Yeah.
add the little arms on the side of his face, and he's a boglin.
I know what you're talking about now.
Like, my homie Dylan would want him.
Of course, here, so we get the
Feed him
native
some
girl here.
fruit.
She's gonna obviously befriend and become Manila's friend because it's just natural. They're going for it. The female character is sympathetic to the baby. His little tail wagging. Look at, she's like, down boy, down boy. And he's just
This thing is creepy as fuck, dude.
literally, if you change the score and just put some like really ominous music over this and like change the filter so it looks really like dark and creepy, you could make this a horror movie.
This looks like a girl feeding Bowser or something.
You know what it reminds me of when she throws? So she takes this fruit and she throws it into Manila's mouth, and his mouth opens. It reminds me, if you guys have ever been to like, you know, like Chuck E. Charlie's or whatever, Cheesy Charlie's or whatever, Chuck E. Cheese, and you have like those games where you have the bean bags, and there's that woman that sits at the back and her mouth opens, and you have to throw the bean bag into the person's mouth, and it's like the giant puppet. And it's usually some big grotesque looking like woman. That's what it reminds me of, is when you throw the bags into the mouth of the creature to get points.
I'm sorry, I can't with this movie.
So he can't walk, obviously, because he's a newborn. So he just grabs onto Godzilla's tail and just trucks along. There's a lot of funny, like, Godzilla and baby moments. Ooh, so you already noticed here, she's walking through these bushes. There's a lot of spider webs, all over the leaves and stuff. I never realized that before, actually.
It's not spider webs, it's Godzilla cum.
I mean, yeah, it could be. We don't know. Both,
Godzilla
maybe.
seed.
A mixture. Him and the giant spider had quite a party, and we just had no idea. Take a UV light to that bitch, you could see it from Uranus. Oh, here we go. Goro wakes up. He's in the cave. He sees his shirt. He's like, oh, what's this? A bitch throws a knife at him. I'd be terrified. And she calls him a thief, considering she's the one who stole it from him. That makes no sense. So she's on this island. She speaks Japanese. So she's never decided to try and talk to the people on the island before. It's because she's never had to deal with this Goro charm.
Men don't wear red shirts.
That's so funny. Men don't wear shirts like this. This is a girl's shirt. He's like, nope, that's my shirt. I'm a boy. My name's Goro. And then we get her name.
Now
So her name
sexist?
is Psycho. So Psycho and Goro. These are going to be our two.
Psycho
main
and
antagonists.
Goro. This is Mortal Kombat all over again.
Where's his two arms? Ooh, there's somewhere
That's
special.
Oh, they're in his pants.
Yeah.
They're somewhere. They're getting ready to help.
Oh God. And if you recall too, Goro's been
Here,
the name of
take my little
another
red
character
shirt.
in Rodan, one of our main protagonists in Rodan, the gun guy who thought was the murderer. His name was Goro, but Goro's a
Man,
pretty popularized name in Japan. So
I was gonna say, I'm just being honest. I don't remember names at this point. There are so
no,
many
some of them
names,
are.
and I'm already the worst at names that I'm just like, I don't know, eye patch man, this
And it
man.
doesn't help too that you're not, Japanese, so you're not familiar with their traditional names, so they're hard to remember.
Like I remember, I think his name was Taco, but that's because
Yeah,
tacos are dope.
Taco.
Like there's little things where I'm like, that's it. That
I remember a
I
lot of like the names, like like you think of like Nakajima, you'll remember Subaraya for doing like the special effects. Jun Fukuda, I'll remember because he's the director. Like you'll remember a lot of the big names, the people who are in charge, like Tanaka too, like producer. Like you'll remember like a lot of them. Shiro
Man,
Honda, the
I've
main
been
director.
friends with people for 3 months, like in work situations, and then not even known their name, and then like had to be like, so what's your name again? Yeah, that's my life in a nutshell. So like that's what I mean. I'm terrible with names, dude.
So
I know who you are, what you do, don't know your name.
at this point, Manila, just being born, he is
Milli Vanilli,
13 meters tall.
like my dick. Just kidding.
But it's funny because you'll see later on he becomes a human size at one point in the worst movie of all time. He's only a meter tall then, but he's 13 to 18 meters tall in this movie. Oh, now the Kamakuras are coming back to finish off the group at the camp. But now they've got a secret weapon because the girl came back with Goro. We all know she's got some trick up her sleeve. Like in the last one, that girl, she had the necklace, she had the dove, she had everything. The pea powder.
Pea spray.
I do love like honestly, the Kamakuras are like the saving grace in this movie. If there was no like good antagonist like this, like I feel like it would not be as good. Because the Kamakuras and the one named Kaiju we have yet to see, they're like the two main bad guys in this film. There's no human bad guys in this film. That's what I like about it. It is very much the monsters are the bad guys. Which I think is the first time we ever get that, besides like the originals, but they're not really the bad guys. They're just, doing their thing in the world. But like the people who are really going against the grain are always the human characters, like whether it be greed, aliens, control, military work. This one, it's just people trying to conduct research on an island and monsters are attacking them. And Godzilla also is living there. He doesn't care about the weather they're conducting and the experiments. He's just doing his thing. But it's these creatures that are the problem. So almost like they're starting to really pair the humans and Godzilla together to rise up to defeat the bad. That's kind of what they're trying to move towards because they want to establish that for future movies.
Light the Godzillas on fire.
Burn the witch. Slay the witch. Got some nice blood water on fire here. Oh, and here we go. So Manila's finally walking. So these are the shots you can tell. This is the suit where it's Midget Man Machan.
Oh my god.
Or
That
Little
is
Man
amazing.
Machan. So this is where he's a guy in the suit. The other ones are puppets, but this is the actual costume.
If anyone has not seen this movie, you should definitely watch it if you need a good laugh. Like, I'm sorry, but this is one of the worst ones I've seen thus far, and I'm dying.
See, it's definitely not a good film by any means, but it's
he's learning how to kick rocks.
It's the same reason we like movies, like silly movies that are truly bad that we just watch for the hell of it. That's literally what it is. And I can relate to this being a kid. Your parents are sleeping and you're bored, so you just try and make a game around them to try and wake them up. So they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't mean to wake you up."
Like playing with my cat.
So Godzilla's trying to take a nap here, and his tail's wagging while he's asleep, and Manila's just trying to jump over his tail like a jump rope. So far, he's doing all right. He's made a game for himself, and then he lands on his tail and steps on Godzilla. Oh, he's balancing, and he falls over. Godzilla's like, "Would you fucking stop it? I'm trying to sleep." And what does he do? like any kid would do. And he goes back and tries it again. Nah. I feel like if your dad was Godzilla, you wouldn't try and pull that shit.
That's what you think.
And now we cut to Goro and Psycho running together, having a good time. You get that nice little enchanting score where like this is a romance. And Goro's already passed out. He's like sweating, like he's drenched. And then she's pretty much just demanning him right now. He's like, I thought you were a man. You can't even run.
Man, I want that bathing suit.
Oh, right. The like the short shorts he's rocking right now.
Oh yeah, I'll play a whole show in those. Everyone be prepared to see these nice legs. JK.
I want you to be just, and you'd probably be just as sweaty as he is too.
Oh, most likely. Dude, I sweat so much on stage. It's terrible.
Oh, this is the funniest part. Ready? So Manila comes over the hill and Goro mistakes him for Godzilla. How do you mistake that for Godzilla?
It looks like a boglin.
They look
I can't
alike.
get over it.
How could you mistake that for Godzilla? It makes no sense.
It's just a baby. Get in my tummy.
Fucking do some crazy ass fucking bird calls. Holy crap. I didn't know you could emit reverb from your hand. That's pretty impressive.
This is like the Green Power Ranger thing I posted on Facebook. Plays his little sword and it sounds like a saxophone synthesizer thing. And I'm like, how do you breathe through your helmet?
You just suffocate.
Just throwing cocoa beans at him or something. That look like it looks like he's
melons
eating
or
mini.
something.
It looks like he's eating Dragon Balls.
I say Dragon Balls, or it looks like those little Nerf balls that you shoot and you shoot out of the Nerf guns when they're not.
Now
darts.
Godzilla is looking.
Yeah,
for,
there's the old man. Godzilla's like, you playing with those humans again? I told you to stay away from them. They're nothing but trouble.
It's true. True.
Yo, Godzilla be thick in this one. I wonder if they watch this.
Sorry, I'm still
giving him
laughing
shit.
at you. Godzilla
giving
be
him shit.
thick.
I want a hug. You get the hell out of here. And now he has a hissy fit. He's like, I want to play with my friends. Where?
This movie is ridiculous.
And then he grabs him by the tail and just drags him away.
Sounds like being a parent.
Yep. You know, that's one thing. If you're a parent and you're wondering what childhood's going to be like, just watch this movie. It's pretty on the nose.
This or Malcolm in the Middle, but mostly
Yeah.
this at this point.
I mean, if you've got cool parents and cool kids, Malcolm in the Middle. If you want a traditional just parent and son and kid taking advantage of your parents, it's this movie.
This is a very daddy feel good movie.
So he's reading the diary here and he sees Kumonga, the word Kumonga, come up multiple times. And we're like, what the hell is Kumonga? I guess we're gonna have to find out. Oh. So this guy Morio comes in, he's got a huge fever, he's burning up like crazy. He's got an extremely high fever. And the whole team does at this point. So like I'd be terrified at this moment. I would not be staying that close to them. What if it's like a virus and they're all ill? Don't go touching them. Like, what are you doing? I understand.
Don't go breaking my heart.
You know, like this is how COVID started. Like, what are you doing? Just fucking leave them there. What are you doing? Especially look at all the spider webs around them. Red flags, people. Have you not noticed the spider webs? So now they're all caring for them, and thank goodness Seko has now just voluntarily offered to care for these men because there's no way they could all just the two guys alone, or three, I guess, with Goro could keep all these guys okay.
Okay, so there is a movie called Arachnophobia, and it was in 1990, and it's a horror comedy movie, so we should watch it at some point. Spider movies,
okay,
creep me the fuck out.
Yeah, no, I don't like them either. Oh, I see. Is there any big names in it?
In Arachnophobia?
Yeah, we got who do we got? We've got Jeff Daniels. There you go. Jeff Daniels is a pretty big name.
Yeah. I can't remember what else he's been in though.
Dumb
I
and
can
Dumber.
picture the face. Yes, Dumb and Dumber. That's it.
He's the main character in
Yep, that's it. I was like, what's the other movie I'm thinking of? Could
Who
picture the
else is
character, couldn't picture the movie.
John Goodman. John Goodman's in it. That's pretty
Yep.
cool.
He's the bug exterminator. Forgot about him.
I love John Goodman.
I've only seen that movie like a handful of times when I was a kid, but I was like, it made me feel super uncomfortable because spider movies, man, I don't like bugs.
No, I don't blame you. You know what? Bugs don't like us, so it's an equal. It's the feeling is mutual. So I do not blame them there. So at this point, they were saying the girl says the only thing that can save your men is this red liquid, and it's the liquid that Godzilla and Manila were near that was on fire. I guess it's
blood.
Yeah, essentially, it has healing attributes to it. And I guess it has something to do with. It reminds me a lot of the liquid that Kong drank in King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yep.
But here we are. They said they have to go through Kumonga Valley, and Kumonga is a giant spider, as we just found out. So here we go, Goro doing another classic, make a rock fall and give away our position. Falls and knocks a rock down. Careful. Okay, I should be careful. Continues walking, knocks another rock down. Goro, like, what are you doing, man?
You should just kick him down.
Literally kick him down, feed him to Kumonga, and then he can be a distraction. Run. She looks at him like, come on, dude, you idiot. You're that bitch who trips when they're running away. Like, what are you doing?
Every horror movie's got one, even though this isn't a horror movie.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so there is
Every
actually only
movie's got
2
one.
minutes of difference in this one or the American cut. So,
well, I mean, it can't
just
be
read
that
that now.
great of a difference because this movie so far is up. Meh.
Yeah, no, this is not. And it's very much that's how people feel. But any Godzilla fan, they're either they love it because it's cheesy and they like the funniness of it, or it's meh. And
like,
a lot of
it's
people say it
definitely
changed it for the worse.
funny and entertaining, but it's just
This is
not
my favorite
really
part.
good.
This is honestly my favorite part of the movie. This is why I like it. It shows Godzilla. He's teaching Manila. So obviously
When you
Godzilla
say Manila,
has
I
atomic
keep thinking
breath.
of Millie Vanilli or whatever.
Manila, Minya, however you want to pronounce it. Manila.
This thing looks dumb. It looks like E.T.
So he's trying to get Manila to try it using atomic breath and try to roar. So
That's
he
a
roars.
pretty good attempt.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I got you.
All right.
He's like, I see you. Now try this.
Reminds me of some Japanese parents. Sassy.
They never let their kids play. That's so sad. Yeah, it's just the way it is. So he shows Godzilla uses atomic breath on the water. Manila's like, holy crap, what was that? Save me. He's like, no, you got to do it now. Come on, you got this. He's like, no, I don't want to.
Ya.
And Godzilla raises his hands like, bitch, I will smack you. He does it again. I'm telling you, I'll smack you.
Oh God, some parenting tips that people wouldn't agree with nowadays.
There's a really great shirt. I really want it. It's a picture of the two of them. Manila's on his back, and it says "World's Best Dad."
He burped.
He just shoots his little smoke rings. Yeah, he'd be great at vaping.
I wonder what
He's
happens.
like more
when
like
they
that.
fart. If they fart, do they atomic butt burst?
I don't think they have. They don't have assholes.
What do you mean? They got a poo or something?
Well, not really. They feed off nuclear energy. They don't really eat things.
I guess. Wouldn't that be nice? Never have to poo or pee ever again.
Like Kim Jong-un, he just doesn't have a butthole.
What?
And he doesn't pee or poop.
I don't know, man. Nah.
What?
Nah.
That's what he says. I don't know.
I don't know, man. He's lying. He's a liar. That man a liar.
See, look at that. Godzilla stepped on his tail and he did it. And now he's like, yay, I can do it. And he goes to do it. And he's like, look, Dad, I did it. And he turns around. Hey, he's asleep. He didn't see it. That's how I relate. Because like, remember being a kid and you're like, hey, watch this. And then they never watch. And then the one time you do it and they're not watching.
It's your fault for taking too long.
I know. If I was more successful and actually talented, maybe they would have liked me. I don't know.
Oh, frick right off, dude. You're one of those people that picks up something after a week of trying it.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying as fuck. You play a video game, oh god of it.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, for you and curse for me, because every time I'm just like, damn it.
I'll tell you
Why
why
are you
it's
so
good.
good?
It's good because some things you can pick up and you're just naturally good at it, but because you just do it so often, when you come across something you actually really want to do and you actually have to try really hard at it, it's like 3 times as hard because your mind's so used to just being able to pick up on things, so it feels like it's 10 times harder and worse than it should be.
Yeah, it's definitely a little jealousy, but like I find it super cool because like I don't know anyone else that you'll just be like, I'm gonna learn this, and within a week you're like, I got it. At least
Yeah.
you got the grasp of how to fucking do it, which is crazy to me.
This guy's just fucking losing it here. He's obviously having some kind of fever dream. He's going nuts. He picks up the gun and he's like, I'm going home. You can't keep me here. And he starts shooting his gun off and he grazes the arm of the general. Jesus Christ. She's like, here, drink this red blood water. And
It's Kool-Aid.
I say it's probably fruit punch or Kool-Aid.
This is giving me some Jim Jones vibes.
Yeah, drink the Kool-Aid.
Flavor Aid. You
Oh,
want culture
yeah.
swine.
Jam Jones.
Jam down.
So now that they have this liquid, they made it through Kumonga Valley, thank God, without being attacked by Kumonga. We still haven't even seen him yet. That's another cool thing I like about it. They talk about Kumonga and they kind of like say it's this mystical valley, and then they tread so carefully, and they do that thing they do with good horror movies and like the original Godzilla where they withhold showing him to you, and like Jaws until like the end, and then it really like makes it that much more impactful because I actually really love Kumonga, and I think at this point he was probably the most difficult creature to puppet. Like Ghidorah was difficult, yes, but Ghidorah was still someone in a suit. You know what I mean? So they really just had to do the tail, the wings, and the head. Well, something like Kumonga is a giant spider. So like all of his legs, each individual leg had to be puppeted. His head, his facial expressions have hydraulics. Like there's a lot of work put into his puppet. And I think it looks like one of the better kaiju that have been done puppet work wise. Like the Kamacuras and Kumonga, like the puppetry in this movie is off the charts incredible. That's one thing I will praise highly about this film. The suits might look a little silly and like all that jazz with Godzilla, but the other kaiju like the Kamacuras and Kumonga, the puppetry is off the chains amazing.
It's just so goddamn cheesy.
I know. But luckily the next movie is just it's the perfect balance of awesome, good content and cheesiness. It's Destroy All Monsters is the true gem. And it makes sense that because they made this one and it didn't do too well. So they're like, we need to put all of our cards on the table because this movie didn't do well. So the next movie, Destroy All Monsters, was kind of meant to be the last film where they were going to do it and then stop doing them. That's why they throw all the monsters in the next one. Because they're like, we'll put all our cards on our table and see if we can make our profit back because these movies aren't popular anymore, essentially. That's how they looked at it. Oh, she does her call. It's like, yeah, those Kamacuras are fucked now. Because she called Manila. Manila's
Thing is so dumb.
They make it some grand call. She's like, you're screwed now. I'm calling my friend. And then Manila comes walking over the hill. Dop-dee-dop-dee-da. Oh, okay. Oh, oh. I do like in the Heisei series when they do Godzilla's son again. It actually looks like it would be Godzilla's son. This one does not.
Like the adopted son that you would give away.
This looks like the thing that showed up at your front doorstep one time, and you're like, "Oh my god, the rat, possum, cockroach thing's back again!" And
if
then
Godzilla
you just called
could fart, this is what came out.
if he had a butthole, this is what came out. And he just gets hit once. He's like, "Well, that didn't feel too nice," and he falls over. Oh, and then that rock falls like it's a turd. There you go. That's his butthole.
I'm surprised he didn't have a tantrum and call his dad.
Oh, he's knocking rocks down into Kumonga Valley. Uh-oh. Here we go. This is a cool shot. I actually love how Kumonga comes out of the ground like this. Wild shot. See, that's why I'm like this buildup is what really sells it for me. I really like the Kumonga design. It's just rad. So the Kamacuras just bitch slaps Manila and he spins in a circle and he hits a rock and the rock flies at the Kamacuras and then he hits it back and then just smokes Manila in the face. There's just so much silliness in this movie. I love it.
Do you? Do you really?
Yeah, I do love it. As much as I hate it, I love making fun of it. So I love it for that
I
reason.
feel like it's because you've seen this before, so I'm not prepared for this. Like you knew what you were getting yourself into. I'm watching this and I'm just like, nah, bro, nah.
Like I said,
Watch
this is
this
like
about 4 times. I could get the humor behind it, but right now I'm just like,
unless
seriously?
unless your love for the G-Man knows no bounds, you should probably skip this movie. This and All Monsters Attack are definitely
Like
the bottom of the barrel.
I'm trying not to hate my friend, but this baby is just I can't not focus on
It's
it.
good in the other ones because now that he's established, it's not about him. So like in the next one, he's just treated as like the loser who can't fight, and it's perfect.
Don't
And
touch
then
my
Daddy
kid.
shows up. He's like, "Don't touch him," but at the same time, he's like, "Come on, fight! You got this. Come on, just like Dad does.
Burn
Come
the
on,
bug.
shoot him with the atomic blast I taught you earlier." And he didn't do shit because he a pussy ass bitch. Sorry, we're in like the last 20, 25 minutes here. So this is where shit's going to start picking up. Oh, Kumanga's still coming out of the ground here. He's like unburrowing himself from his slumber. Here he comes.
Giant spider.
Kumanga. Like, look at that. Like the puppetry to get it to climb up the rocks like that. Unreal. Like it actually looks pretty real. Like maybe not from the look of the design, but the way it's moving. You know what I mean?
This is definitely one of the best well, that wasn't, but besides the string part, that was the best monster
well, think
that
about
they've
it.
had in
Like
this movie thus
think
far.
about how thick spider webs are compared to like from small spiders. If the spider was that much larger, webs would kind of look like that because they'd be more thick and more streamlined, right? If we were that small compared to the normal spider web size.
It just looks like streamers to me.
Well, it's probably what it was. Yeah, it's probably like paper.
Or if you're an inappropriate fuck like me, it looks completely gross.
Yeah. It can't be paper because when they use the lighter to burn in there, to burn it off, it doesn't like turn brown or catch fire. It just melts. So it might be like silly string. It might just be like the same consistency as silly string, and they shot it out of like a hose instead.
Maybe.
Oh, here we get the claw coming in. This is creepy. I like this part where he's like, you're typical, like you're trapped in a cave and the monster can barely reach you and it's just trying to claw at you.
That's his pee-pee.
I was gonna say his pee-pee.
His pee-pee.
He's like, small peen, I'm coming.
I'm coming. I can help. I mean, you could like shoot it in there and then like pull him out with your silly string.
I think that's what he's trying to do.
I can burn it. I think it's like paper.
Yeah, that's paper
I'm
there for sure.
Paper.
Yeah. Yeah, it's paper. I can see it burn there. Yeah, it's paper. Oh, it looks like nylon.
I was like just thinking that.
Yeah, like thin nylon.
Line?
Yeah. It looks like a thick fishing line almost. Like almost like the material
Thick
that like zip ties and stuff are made out of, but if it was like a thin strand. Like some kind of like thin bendable plastic. Well, they get out of the cave there, thank goodness, because this bitch knows what she's doing. Goro's stupid as usual. All right, come on, girl, get the hell out of there, dude. You're gonna screw everything up. He's still sweating like a pig. I will say one thing I like about this movie, though. You notice how, like, when they get in these situations, they actually get dirty. Like, their pants are dirty. She's got dirt on her face.
Kick her down a hill a little bit.
Stays there. See, it's still on her face. Good continuity. He still doesn't know that they're gone. He's still spraying in there.
Well, once Lukey shuts the hell up, just want to take a second and say Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. Mother's Days are awesome. Yeah, damn Moms right, Lucas. Moms are awesome. We'd be nothing without you.
Literally, I would not be here, so.
Hey, may as well, right? I appreciate my parents, my grandparents.
Yes.
Gotta take that second.
And unfortunately, Manila should have had better parenting because he would have maybe been a little more attractive. If you...
He's still got a strong single dad.
Yeah, that's true. His dad's making it work. He's being the
Mamazilla. I'm just saying, doing the best you can.
That is true.
It's a very fitting movie for this day.
It was totally coincidental, by the way.
Yeah, but super funny to me.
This just happened to be this one. So Oh, here comes Kumonga. He's like, I saw you. I know where you're going now. He's like, I'm after you, bitches. Like, that's a good shot here. Them
So I
crouched
know
on
I
the
said
miniature.
I'd shit myself earlier. Now I'd shit myself.
Yeah,
Because
big
like
ass
if I
spider.
saw a giant spider, I would have like crapped myself a while ago and be like, man, I'm not wearing pants anymore. There's no point.
Just go full nude. Probably movie probably would have done better if they were all nude. So
A whole nudist colony. And then a giant spider. That'd be
they
terrifying.
wouldn't be so hot. They all have fevers. If they're all naked, they would have been a lot cooler. Just saying. That's
More
okay.
aerodynamic.
There's no nudity in this one, but I can solemnly say there are 2 Godzilla movies coming up in the show film that have nudity, and they are still rated for children. Go Japan. There's one scene in we'll get to it in Godzilla versus Megalon where they steal a truck and they're driving in the truck, and in the back of the truck there's pinup Playboy models and like naked girls, pictures of naked women on the back of the car, like behind their headrests, just nonchalantly. Like if you pause and really look, you can see it clear as day. But I wonder if they just never realized when it was going through editing. And then the other one is in Terror of Mechagodzilla. The one girl, she's like an android, and when they perform surgery on her, they open up her chest and her tits are out. That's in the original cut though. In the and they're obviously fake because it's an android, but in the American cut they remove those scenes, so they're not in it actually, because America was
No
like
boobies for you.
censorship. But Japan's like, let the kids have a little peek.
I love it.
They're only 10 once, right? So now Kumonga is doing the same thing. He stuck his claw in their cave. They know where they are now. They're fucked. So you know who they're gonna need to save the day? Manila.
Ghostbusters. Oh.
No, Godzilla. Both of us were wrong.
Ghostbusters.
Can you imagine Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray just burst in?
I'd be very happy with that.
Again, movie probably would have made a little more money.
Okay, so another fun fact. Did you know that John Candy was actually supposed to be in that movie? But he
Really?
passed away when they were writing it. Yes, they were friends. Like Dan Aykroyd and John Candy were really good friends. And he was going to play, the role of Rick Moranis character. That was supposed to be John Candy originally.
Really?
Yes, but he passed away while he was literally writing the script. He got the call and he was like, damn, that's like, terrible. But like smoking, drug abuse, etc.
Yeah. Well, because he passed away in 94. Because I remember that because it was the 1 year before I was born.
Yeah, it was supposed to be John Candy.
Shit, because Ghostbusters. Wow. What? Well, hold on.
Because if I'm correct, it was John Candy, Chris Farley, and Dan Aykroyd that were homies. They were all friends and stuff like that. So like it could have been Chris Farley, but
I think it was Chris Farley because John
What year
Candy
did Chris
didn't pass
Farley?
away till 94.
What year did Chris Farley die?
97.
I don't know, man.
So, and Ghostbusters came out in 1984.
I don't know. One of those fuckers. Maybe I'm just spitting bullshit. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm Googling it.
As I'm doing it right now just to find out.
Googling it.
Yeah, he sent John Candy the script first, wanting him to play the key role of Louis Tully, which would ultimately be played by Rick Moranis after John Candy turned it down.
Okay, cool. I was right on that one. Yeah, because he was Dan Aykroyd was upset about it, that he didn't want to be in the movie, and then he passed away, and he was like, man, we could have done so much good shit.
Yeah, honestly, he would have been great in that.
I think he was supposed to be in the second script. I could have been wrong on that one. So like after the first one came out, I think John Candy wanted to, or at least agreed to, but didn't end up working out. I was convinced it was John Candy though, because they were like homies.
There's a similar play in this movie to that actually too. Akira Harada, the guy who plays our Eye Patch Man, Sears All One stuff.
Yeah.
When the Showa era ended, obviously, and they took their hiatus, they came back in 1984 to do the return of Godzilla, or Godzilla 1984. And they wanted him in the movie, and he was set to play one of the main characters in it. And when we watch it, it's very obvious which character he was meant to play. You could probably figure it out when we watch it. But he actually passed away before they started filming, so he was unable to finish it.
It always sucks when that happens, especially when you feel like they needed or left. It's not like they had to be there. It's just their character needed them.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like Sid Haig passing away with House of Thousand Corpses.
Oh,
It's
exactly.
like Three from Hell. You kind of needed that. Without it, it was kind of just sad.
Yeah, because he passed away in July 25th of 1984 in Tokyo, Japan. So he fell ill and was unable to fulfill his role in the movie. And that would have been cool because that was like the coming back of Godzilla where he went back to bases. So it would have been like the true reprisal of the first Gojira. And it would have been really cool to have him in there. But unfortunately, he passed away before he was
Definitely a
able to be in the
shame.
film. Yeah, he lived a pretty long life though. I mean, 1927 to 1984. So he was like just about in his 60s almost.
That's not terrible
So
at
he
this
lived a pretty
point.
decently long, and he did an amazing amount of films. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Guaranteed that man partied hard over his
25,
time.
26, 27, 28. He was in 29 films, and out of those 29, some of those were TV shows where he was in multiple episodes.
Yeah, that man was definitely partying in his off time.
Yeah. And he's a phenomenal actor. He's done so many different roles. He's amazing in this. Like, have you noticed he's different in every movie? He drastically changes in every movie. He's a true profession of acting. He definitely takes it seriously. Cool. Yeah, I wouldn't go out there. He's still yeeting rocks in at you guys. He's gonna get through eventually. Because Kumunga's battling. Manila's trying. He's trying to fight Kumunga. He's trying to help. But he's
Trying
just,
to get that atomic breath going.
yeah, he's just getting webbed up though. If anything, he's just gonna call and get his dad to come save the day. Because at this point, Manila's pretty much done. He's completely webbed up. Yep, and down he goes.
This movie is ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. Like I said, we'll tackle the next movie. You're gonna be such a fresh breath of fresh air. And honestly, I feel like that's the main
Breast
reason.
of fresh air.
A breath of fresh air, exactly. I feel like the next movie, one of the reasons it did do so well too, is because like it did just come off of this, and like it's probably one of the most intense, like big movies out of all of these, and it came right after this one. Like that's like saying like, okay, we're gonna go to like the small town parade, okay, and then right after that, we're gonna go watch the huge finale at Disney World.
That sounds fun.
So like
Let's
the
go.
first one's like under budget, lame, and you're like, oh, is this over yet? Because you just want to get to the next one, and then the next one, it turns out it's some multi-million-dollar parade with huge explosions and like huge array of lights, like top of the line. Ooh, better analogy. It's like going to like having like going to like a shitty fast food place. You go to Wendy's and you get a burger, and they're like, yeah, this is your meal, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you eat it, and then later at night, someone whips out like Taco Bell and like this massive feast of like Big Hero Burger and shit, and you're just like, what was this? Why didn't I have this earlier?
Why wasn't I invited?
Yeah. Right now, Kumunga's wrecking house because at this point, Kumunga's was asleep, right? So now that he's awake, he's taking out the Kamacuras. He's taking out Manila. He's taking out Godzilla. He's like, I'm taking out everybody. I'm pissed. Y'all woke me up from my nap. This is my island. And this is why we hate spiders. They're just dicks.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Kumunga's dope, though. I mean, he's a really cool creature design. Yeah, because right now he's got food. He's like, I woke up and now I'm going to eat and then I can sleep for another 1,000 years. So I'm going to web up this Kamacuras. I'm going to web up Manila, and that's going to be lunch for the next couple 100 years. Godzilla's still sleeping. Oh, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. So right now they're going to launch the Cairo probe up into the air again to try and change the weather to kill Kumunga. That's basically what they're going to do. They're going to try and freeze him to death, essentially. Which, I mean, it's not a bad idea. Spiders die in the winter. We know that. They burrow and they hibernate. So if you just get him before he goes under, you're going to kill him.
A giant bug swatter.
Yes. Or, Godzilla just to wake up. That would also work.
Yeah, that works too.
Oh, the explosion will come up.
Boy.
Release the silver iodine. And away we go. So here we go, folks. Humans got their planet in motion. Godzilla's up. Shit's about to go down. Oh, how many people do you think it took to puppet Kumonga?
Like 5, 8,
I'm
somewhere in
saying at
between
least
there.
5. Yeah, maybe even higher. Let's see.
See, that's where I went to 8, and I was like, I don't know, maybe 8. Unless if he's like a miniature, right? Like, I mean,
he's still pretty big because he's going to be in shots with Godzilla, right? You'll see in a second.
yeah.
So he's got to be pretty beefy.
Beefy boy.
Yeah, he's massive. He's absolutely terrifying. Yeah, so unlike most real spiders, Kumonga does not have spinnerets firing silk from its mouth. Instead, the ability may have been inspired by the spitting spiders, a family of spiders which hunt by spitting an adhesive mixture of silk and venom at their prey. That's interesting. Still doesn't tell me how many people were used to puppet him, unfortunately, in our Godzilla Bible here. I might have to look into that. I'm very curious. He's used a lot. Like, this isn't the only time he makes an appearance, too. He's used in future films as well. But I definitely feel like there would have been at least one person per leg, and he has 8 legs, so it's 8 alone, right? And then
I was thinking like 2 legs per person.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I would say I would hover around a bit under 10. It's probably how many people it took to puppet Kumonga. Oh, Godzilla's getting his rock. You're done now. Boom! Slow motion rock throw. Just knocks him on his ass.
That's all Godzilla's got.
Right? Once Godzilla shows up, you know shit's not going to go good. He's like, Dad, help me. He's like, I got you, son.
I would have just left him there.
Right? This is his chance. You're like, you know, you don't want him. Just leave him. No one will ever
Abandon
know.
him. What, son? We were just talking about how he's a great dad.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, get behind me. I'll protect you.
Squash the bug.
Kumonga's done for. They're just spraying stuff at each other. It's just not going to go well.
He's going to go run and hide like always.
He knows he's going to lose this fight, so he's like, I'm going to dip because I know I'm going to die.
They all leave. They all just run away.
Yep. That's what happens. And Godzilla's like, nah, I'm chasing this guy. He's not getting away.
And then the kid's just chasing the tail.
Yeah.
Like an idiot.
He's like, don't leave me here. Oh, there we go. And they're almost at the right height to explode the probe to cause it to snow. I mean, it's kind of perfect that they were testing weather stuff out here, because without that, like, this could have went very dramatically the other way. Though it's kind of unnecessary, because at this point, like, he's going to kill Kumonga, right? Like, it's not like Godzilla was attacking them, so.
I can't get over this movie. It's wild.
He's just getting caked in silly string.
Stop yawning.
I'm sorry.
You're making me want to yawn.
It's not the most exciting movie ever. I've been watching Destroy All Monsters, then we would have been like eyes peeled and like wired. People would have thought we did like 2 key lines before we fucking watched the thing.
Maybe we did. Don't do drugs, kids.
Yes, don't.
Maybe just a little.
No. Not worth time. Just stick to G-Man and the Kaiju flicks. They're way better.
G-Man and the Wheaties.
Exactly. Oh,
Shredded
it's dropping
Wheaties.
fast. It worked. But I'll say a little too late. Now you don't really need it. Now you're just going to make it ice cold. Do you have a coat?
No.
I mean, she does. Look at, she's got a winter jacket on.
I love how they're all prepared. They're like, all right.
And so is he. I love how he sneezes to show that he's already got a cold because of how cold it's getting.
They're just coming over to Canada.
Achoo. Manila's like, no, Dad, stop. Because Kumonga's got him on the ground now.
Stop beating up my daddy.
Come on, Mila, it's up to you. Yeah. Uses atomic breath to stop the webbing. Look at, see, now he's coming back to save his dad. They grow up so fast.
Burn his mouth hole, then he won't be able to. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just waiting for this one shot. There's this one definitive moment where Godzilla looks at Kumonga, and then like Kumonga looks at Godzilla, and it just slowly pans into his mouth. And he's just like eyeing him. And it's so funny because you look at Godzilla, you know exactly what he's thinking. It's like, I'm gonna stick my dick in that.
Oh God. I was not expecting that.
Okay, watch it though, and
Jesus.
tell me that you don't agree.
Silly string everywhere. They must have been terrible neighbors.
Oh, I still can't get over the suit and how stupid it is. It's awful. The eyes are just awful. Here we go. Ready? This is it. There it is. Ready? Look at.
Oh God. That was terrible. That was terrible. He just got facialed.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, folks. That is too funny. It literally just took my breath away. It's just so, and then he just squirts him right in the face. Like,
this movie
oh,
is just interesting to say the least.
And it's funny, you know what I mean? Because after all
it's
this,
it's snowing.
It has one of the most heartwarming endings. Like, it's so nice. Watch this. Yo, they got on that boat so fast.
Fucking come to Canada. It's always snowing.
Yeah, you'd have no issues. I wish they would do more Godzilla fights in the snow, though, because I think it looks really cool when Godzilla's in the snow.
No, I don't want to watch that. It makes me feel cold. See, watching this right now just makes me sad. I don't want it. This movie just extra sucks now.
It's snowing. Oh, that's a cool shot. Kumonga like takes down Godzilla like that.
Good shot, though.
Yeah. See, now you can see Kumonga's size compared to that Godzilla. And you already take into reference that Godzilla was bigger than he normally was because they had to make the suit actor taller than Manila. And look how big Kumonga is compared to Godzilla. Like, that puppet's massive, man. The puppet would be terrifying alone. Like, Kumonga is, I'll give you the actual measurements here. So in the fictional, he's 45 meters high and 60 meters long in continuity of the film, but physically his actual suit was, as soon as I find it here, wow, holy shit. So Kumonga was actually they said averaged and estimated to be 5 meters in length and approximately I guess that works out to about a meter in height standing up on its legs.
So a big boy costume.
Yeah, he's literally like the same size. The puppet would have been about the same size as your childhood bedroom circumference wise in area. That's huge.
He's like a car.
Yeah, essentially. I like that. See, this is a cute ending though, because Manila and Godzilla both team up and use their atomic blasts together to finish him off. Nice touch. But I'll tell you,
Mother's Day, everyone.
Right? This is how you end a happy Mother's Day. It's actually a really cute ending here. So obviously it's snowing now, and Godzilla and Manila have defeated Kumonga and just left his burning corpse. So badass. But this actually has a really cute, sentimental ending, because obviously it's ice cold and it fades out with them, boating away out there and the snow piling up. And then it ends, the whole ending of the shot is Godzilla just holding Manila, keeping him warm, doing the proper dad thing, trying to keep him safe as they just freeze together in the snow. It's sad, but also heartwarming and cute. I feel like this is like the saving grace of this movie. This is the one time it's actually, yep, that was a cute scene. Manila's like having trouble in the snow and he's freezing to death. And you obviously feel a little bad for him here. It's actually kind of sad, because Godzilla just keeps walking.
Peace.
He roars. He's pissed now.
Fuck the snow.
So in the original cut of the film, it was actually what was supposed to happen was Manila stays there and freezes and Godzilla just walks off. That was actually one of the original storyboard endings. And when they decided, they actually filmed it and they went, maybe it's a little harsh. Maybe we should have him, warm him up at the end. So they reshot this part. Because in the first shot where that shows the shore and the snow's filling up, if you notice in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you actually see Godzilla's tail just at the beginning of the clip move off into the ocean. And it's because they just cut the shot when Godzilla's after he's walked by and used that shot to kind of show the snow filling up. And then they reshot this. So originally it was supposed to end like that, but they thought this was a better ending. And I'm glad they did it. Because it's definitely got
I mean, the other one's a little more dark, which I enjoy, but I get it for a Godzilla movie.
Yeah. But this is cute. Aw. See, it's a really cute ending. He's like, don't worry, son, it's gonna be okay.
Is that Lucas showing emotion?
I'm his twin angel-hearted brother today. This isn't Lucas.
Yeah, you definitely look like the Boglin child.
Maybe if my head settled right when I was born. They'll sleep till the snow melts. How the fuck do you know, Goro? Are you a Godzilla expert? What if they just freeze to death and die, you monsters?
I just know that when in doubt, Godzilla's gonna nap.
Yeah. So down they go, and it will snow over their monster island there, and they'll just kind of go into hibernation, essentially. What's that?
Titanic.
No.
It's Jaws.
Imagine. Have you seen that one meme where it's like they don't want you to know the truth and it's Titanic hitting the iceberg, but under the water it's Godzilla and the iceberg was his fins?
Yep. It's true. I could see it.
So this is the submarine they radioed out for coming to save them.
Someone actually showed up. Thank you.
So
and
the
everyone
humans
just looks
go
like a
in
ketchup
safety,
and mustard bottle.
And then it zooms out that beautiful shot of Godzilla comforting Manila with the snow. It's actually a cute shot.
And I assume like when
and
it just snows a whole bunch, they would just look like a giant mountain.
Yep.
You wouldn't even see them.
Well, it's a lot like in Godzilla Raids Again when he breaks out of the ice.
Exactly.
Well, actually, I should say King Kong versus Godzilla because he breaks out of it in that movie, but he's buried in it at the end of Raids Again. Sayonara, which is goodbye in Japanese for y'all who don't know. So cute. I love the score. The score that accompanies it really ties it all together and makes you impact that emotion, even though you just watch them be stupid for an hour and a half. But the end. So, what did you think about Son of Godzilla, Josh?
That was crap.
Which is honestly the opinion probably most people would have after watching that movie.
Like, I really am trying to not be biased, but compared to all like the other ones that you've showed me have been way cooler. That was complete bullshit.
Yeah,
man.
The next one is awesome. You're gonna love the next movie. Not to,
like I said earlier, if I watch that, like if we watch that 3 more times, I will find the funniness in it. But I was not expecting half of that. So
no, I'll tell you where you'll find the respect for this movie.
Oof.
After you watch All Monsters Attack, Godzilla's Revenge, you will realize how good of a film this is because it takes all the horrible, stupid parts from this movie and uses that as stock footage in Godzilla's Revenge. And it just is the official worst Godzilla movie of all time. I would rather watch Godzilla 1998 with Matthew Broderick than All Monsters Attack.
That was
that's saying a lot.
Movie.
But that being said, folks, for those who listen along with the podcast, I hope you enjoyed me and Josh either tearing it apart or talking about other movies that are better to try and fill up some of the time gaps.
Yeah.
But it's a cute movie. Don't get me wrong. It has its charm and it has its cuteness, but it is not a Godzilla film. You can very much tell this is a cash grab trying to get with the times that Gamera was taken from the box offices at the time. But the next films are a lot better due to the slump of this movie. You can really tell the next movie, they put all their cards on the table, threw all the budget in, really just pretty much put all their eggs in one basket. Okay. And it paid off. It's great. So much so
more horror movies.
Yes.
Horror movies.
Yes.
Horror.
I mean, come on, that movie wasn't scary enough for you.
Terribly done.
Did you see his face? Oh my God. That's going to be in my nightmares forever. So on that note, folks, hopefully you don't go to sleep and see Manila's face in your dreams, nightmares tonight, because let's just say you probably won't sleep for a while if that happens to you. Anyways, as always, guys, we hope you enjoyed. Next time, we'll be looking at Destroy All Monsters, and you will not want to miss that one. It is the kaiju fight of the centuries. And all I have to say is, kaijus, assemble. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.
Later.